So I'm online and there's a new coffee company that's opened up promising a kind of coffee that we've never seen before. Let's buy one. Okay, wait. So I can't buy one yet because it's not in production yet. So what I can do is pay a small amount of money and reserve my coffee. And when it comes online, they'll text me and then I'll pay some more money and I'll be able to get a cup out of them. Or I could just go to the neighborhood Starbucks or Cafe Coffee Day and get myself a cup of coffee. Or I can just Swiggy it. Just hold on a minute. Okay, that's done. Welcome to Powerdrift. We are, of course, going to be riding the new Ola S1 Pro electric scooter. What is it good for? When can you get one home? And what does it promise? And what will it deliver? This is the production version of India's fastest and most powerful electric scooter. I'm so excited because we have waited months to get on this scooter and see what it's actually like out in the real world. We're not technically in the real world because we are at a housing complex on the outskirts of Bangalore where a lot of construction is yet to happen, but the roads exist, so it approximates the real world. But we will get a sense of what this scooter does. But first, let's begin with what's under the skin.
Cells aside, the all-Indian S1 Pro uses a steel underbone frame now with battery packs placed under the floorboard and curving upwards to end under the front edge of the seat. Below the storage cavity sits the motor, which makes 8.5 kilowatt and it drives the rear wheel through a belt. The rest is software. Ola designs its own vehicle control unit and says it's one of the most powerful units in this corner of the market. And all that is draped in a cheeky looking design that looks both striking as well as sleek and modern. What I was surprised by is how compact the scooter looks and feels. I can't help but think that a slightly larger form would have made the Ola's value and appeal quotients rise a bit. It's not cramped, the S1 Pro, but it does look small.
So the S1 Pro is obviously based on the Dutch Etogo scooter, a company that Ola acquired. And in that sense, from the Etogo to the scooter, not a lot has changed in terms of styling. But finish levels on this scooter can definitely improve. That having been said, there's a bunch of colors, and in most of these colors you will notice the Ola because it's this skinny profile. It's a very unisex look that will appeal to people for sure, and that face, it really does look attractive.
The design does cause challenges, especially in the footboard area. The spine, for example, doesn't allow a flat footboard. The curves of the footboard also reduce the flexibility you have in how you place your feet. But the design, it has other highlights too.
So Ola is doing a couple of innovative things with this scooter, especially the front suspension. But what it comes together when you go around corners, when you're out on bumpy roads and stuff, is a fairly normal, interesting scooter. The handling is interesting primarily because a lot of the heavy stuff in the scooter is at the bottom of the scooter, so the normal top heaviness of an ICE scooter is just not there, and that makes it quite accurate around corners, and it's quite a little bit of fun to throw around because you don't really feel the 125 kilo weight, which for a scooter is on the high side. It has decent ride quality. There are scooters, for example, like the Access, which is a much softer setting but a very nice ride quality. There are scooters like the N-Torque, which have a harder setting but a very nice ride quality, and this is somewhere in the middle. It is eminently acceptable, it's not uncomfortable, but I do wish that Ola had given the sense of a little bit more sophistication to the suspension as it works. That would have really elevated the experience of you riding something special.
Wait, an electric vehicle video that hasn't talked about range and performance yet? We'll get to it, but let's quickly skim through the digital features first. The scooters we rode had almost nothing outside of the big bright screen with an equally large bezel. We couldn't sync our phones via app, and that denied us the chance to see navigation and phone controls at work. Our test bike also only had one mood, which is a set of graphics that aims to alter your experience of the S1 Pro a bit. And the sounds that are supposed to accompany this mood are also coming in a future update along with the other moods. And unfortunately, the same goes for proximity, where the scooter senses that you're coming closer and unlock itself. And in that sense, all we saw was the electronic steering lock, the reverse mode, and even the cruise control is still in beta.
So that leaves us to talk about the crucial stuff for the EV, right? The batteries, the motor, what does it feel like when it accelerates? And there's a reason I've left it for the end. On the battery front, I have no problems at all. This scooter has been ridden quite a bit and it's still showing 110 kilometers of range, and it only started with 131, nowhere close to full charge. And on that front, I think Ola have you covered. Between the size of the battery and the way it's being managed, we are all right. The problems start when you start talking about the connection between the throttle and the rear wheel, because this scooter is running beta software and unfortunately not everything works as it should yet. So in normal mode, I found the acceleration to be almost dull, and I don't know that a lot of us will stick to that mode for a really long time. Sport mode, on the other hand, is a substantial and happy change because it does feel nice, it accelerates very, very quickly, and it does feel like a mode that I could see myself going through the city on. Hyper mode obviously is supposed to be even more exciting, but at least initially I felt that sport mode felt more exciting to ride. Eventually at some speed, 40-50 kmph, hyper takes over and then it feels really nice to ride.
But within 2 kilometers of enjoying hyper mode, I overheated either the battery or the motor, and the S1 Pro went into a much slower zone for a while. I get that we were on open roads at full throttle for extended stretches, and you'll rarely do that in the city. But some buzz was killed.
Sometimes in sport mode, when I have closed the throttle, the scooter takes a moment or two before it cuts the motor out, so the scooter sort of runs on, which is a little bit uncomfortable. Coming out of really slow corners, you open the throttle, but the scooter sort of doesn't realize it for a while. So there are glitches here. But what Ola is saying is that from you watching this video today on the 10th of November to their first deliveries 15th of November, the final version of this software will arrive and be flashed to the customer's scooter as they start going out.
In a sense, Ola's hardware might be production spec, but the software we tested is still a glitchy beta at best. It's good enough for us to realize that potentially this is a stunning electric scooter with fantastic range, exhilarating performance in sport, and still more in hyper mode. It's not as practical as you think, but in the same breath, it could be a lot more fun than it should be. And that's where the story unravels a bit. Could, should, and will. I'm pretty sure Ola Electric will sort out these glitches sooner rather than later. But there were enough niggles on our test ride to make us pause.
So let's get back to the coffee question. Should you be using a neighborhood coffee shop? Should you be swigging it? Or should you go to that website and order that newfangled coffee? Based on my experience today, I would say that the website with the coffee probably has India's best coffee in it somewhere. But research is on, iterations are on, and eventually the best coffee will emerge. Today, unfortunately, is not that day. So the Ola S1 Pro, it was supposed to be India's best TV. I'm convinced it will be India's fastest TV. It definitely has one of the largest real-world ranges that you'll see on an EV scooter today. But if I were you, I would say hold off a bit. Don't pay the money to the website yet. Just give it another 3 or 4 months for Ola to get through the niggles of the software process so that you get a solid baseline, because from there the journey gets better. But today is not that day. So if you're in a hurry, Starbucks, Cafe Coffee Day or Swiggy are your best options to get good coffee. But if you're willing to wait 6 months or more, this might be a really interesting cuppa.